It is the 9th day of April. Welcome to the Lord Aboga TV newspaper review. Straight to the day's business. We are going to start with the Daily Nation, whereby the main headline is puzzle of 6 names added to Iebc shortlist. Yeah. I told you Kenya is a very funny country. When you don't have a godfather, things might seriously be tough on you when seeking for the civil servant jobs. Now there are names that Iebc selection panel led by Bwana Makanda, they controversially added 6 names that were not on the shortlisted final list. The 6 added are Hassan Nur Hassan. This is a former CAS in the Uhuru-led administration. Then you have Jibril Mali Mohammed. Then a third person we have Michael Ben Olieo. Then the 4th person we have Charles Kipiegon Mutai. Then the 5th person we have Stephen Kibet Ngeno. Then the 6th person we have Joel Mwita Daniel. You see, sometimes people are given jobs like this Makanda-led commission, and they start, they just want to, in a manner or so, want Kenyans to start raising eyebrows. Now, because you've issued out the final list that you're going to interview, then how comes you again add 6 names on it? You see, those are things that will start raising eyebrows, and Kenyans won't believe even after the results that you've given after maybe your thorough selection panel. That is very sad, and I think Chair Makanda should explain why that happened. Again, on the Daily Nation, payback, Muturi's security withdrawn. I saw JB Muturi yesterday crying that his security has been withdrawn.
The reaction from government has been the immediate withdrawal of my security, which happened last evening. My security personnel were instructed not to report on duty on the basis that, as they told me, that I'm fighting the government.
Despite the fact that he needs to have that security since he was former Speaker of the National Assembly.
Under the law, the retirement benefits, the United States Officers Retirement Act, Chapter 197B, deputy presidents, retired speakers of the Houses of Parliament, Chief Justice and Deputy Chief Justice, former Prime Minister, former Vice President, are all covered in that act.
Those are very sad tactics deployed by the government, and I don't support them. I think as the day was going by, the National Police Service spokesperson refuted those allegations and said that he doesn't have any information concerning Muturi's security withdrawn. Straight away onto the Standard. This is now the interesting one. The Standard's headline is State House Rogues. And you see, there is a picture there of Dennis Itumbi. There is a picture there of Farouk Kibet. Farouk Kibet is referred as co-president as by Rigathi Gachagua. Farouk Kibet is the co-president. We have President William Samoei Ruto. Then Farouk Kibet is the co-president. Rigathi Gachagua describes Farouk Kibet that when he talks to cabinet secretaries, they shrink. Last time I saw, cabinet secretary is only answerable to the president. Now Farouk Kibet is also a president. Rigathi Gachagua's going by Rigathi Gachagua's revelations. Farouk Kibet is a very powerful person in this country as it stands today.
He says that I was fighting Farouk Kibet. Farouk Kibet is not a small man. He is a co-president in this country.
There is a time Rigathi Gachagua said that he went to report Farouk Kibet to President William Samoei Ruto on corruption allegations, that he takes money from Kenyans, then he plans meetings for the then former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And Rigathi Gachagua decided to face him head on and told him that he doesn't want him in his office. When he went to communicate the same to the president told him, Wachana na Farouk atafute pesa kidogo kidogo hapa na kule. Huyu jamaa amekaa na mimi sana.
I learned the few people he had asked me to see. Later on, I heard noise in town that people are going to see the deputy president. Farouk has collected money on his behalf and he is not doing anything for us. That is when I got alarmed. I faced Kibet and he told me off. He said, I must make money. Hii serikali tumetafuta, mimi nimeumia na William Ruto miaka mingi. And actually when I talked to the president about Farouk Kibet, he said, wewe achana na Farouk atafute pesa kidogo ya kukula bana. Hii mtu ameumia na mimi miaka mingi, akipata hapa kidogo kidogo yuko makosa gani? So I'm telling you, when the president said that I'm fighting small people, that is a man who is running the country.
That is what shocked the former then Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. But indeed, Farouk Kibet is a very powerful person in this administration. He's just like the total man bewot of President Moi's regime. On Itumbi, the former Deputy President alleged that Itumbi is also not a small person, that Itumbi is the one who makes communication to all government institutions on very important matters. The former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua claimed that it is Itumbi who make briefs to cabinet secretaries wherever they want to come to public, issue the releases and the statements to public. They directly come from one and only Dennis Itumbi.
Okay. When he says that I'm fighting small people, Itumbi. I don't know Itumbi. You can see the things he was writing about me. And Dennis Itumbi, the chief propagandist for William Ruto. Again, he's not a small man. This government of William Ruto is run by Itumbi and Farouk. This Itumbi, all these statements you see ministers issuing, like the one DCI has issued about the violence yesterday in Mweki. It's Dennis who crafts them. He crafts the messages, and you can see even that is language. He gives them to read. And my problem with that so-called small man is that they work in cohort with the president.
For instance, the former deputy president alleged that the director of criminal investigations report towards his attack at the Mwiki church service was crafted by one and only Dennis Itumbi. That is serious. Again, the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua alleged that wherever they are in a heated conversation, they had a heated conversation with the president before, and the president was uncomfortable with it. He just texts Itumbi, and Itumbi comes in and tells the president, we're off, let's go to next engagement.
And he hangs around State House. And if you have a discussion with the president and he doesn't like the way it is going, he sends him a text, and Dennis walks into the president's office and says, Mr. President, you are late for the next meeting. And the president brings the meeting to a closure. I had not realized that until I studied. I saw there is a pattern. And any time I had many issues with the president that were not pleasant, I would face him and say, this is not right, this is not good, and I would win the argument, and he doesn't like it, and he would like to bring a meeting to a closure. Somehow Dennis walks in, and I saw a pattern. So one day, we were launching, the president was going to sign, he was going to sign the housing levy law, bill into law. And I was with the president in his office, the two of us, and I had a very hot conversation with him. And I was telling Mr. President, Kenyans are not interested in affordable housing. And people are very unhappy about the taxation. And Mr. President, only a fool doesn't change his mind. Let us look this thing, and please, from the feedback I'm getting from the ground, and Mr. President, I was elected with you. I mean, it's my job to tell you what the people are saying. And since we are elected together on a joint ticket, when I see we are going down and I don't tell you, it is not fair. Then when we were just continuing, I think he took a phone, Itumbi comes. And he said, Mr. President, we need to go. And I told Itumbi, my friend, next time you interrupt me when I'm with the president, you know who I am. Get off. I am the deputy president. I was elected with the president here. Who are you to come and interrupt our discussion? Do you know what we are discussing? The president just looked and said, I think we go. Okay? So that is how I raised that issue. You know, and I told him, Mr. President, how do you get these people to come and interrupt a meeting with your deputy all the time? So that those are the issues he was saying.
Well noted.
I was fighting with small people.
That is serious. You see, Rigathi Gachagua anamwaga mtama kweli kweli. Now he has told us about the State House rogues. These are people who call for shots in State House and in government. Today we don't have much. I think as the day goes by, we'll be briefing you on the upcoming news. That was my time. This is the Lord Aboga TV. Press the notification button so that when we come up with these important news reviews, you should be among the first people to view them. That was my time. Till next time. Bye.